But currently what we are using, that obviously is a guide in terms of the ECD. We are looking at a number of legislation that obviously guide us, some that has to do with the restoration of ECD centers. At top, the first bullet is Children's Act 38 of 2005, which obviously guide us in terms of those spaces that are occupied by children. Also, we look at your Occupational Health and Safety Act 85 of 1983, and then there are some revised norms and standards for bronze and silver and gold standards. As we know that there is also your Banapele massive restoration, and there has been some restoration framework that has been cascaded that should be used in terms of looking at the restoration condition. So we use all of that in developing infrastructure intervention that is required for a particular ECD center. And we're also looking at your National Building Regulation and Building Standard Act, which is the Act of 1977. In focusing more in terms of what are the focus areas when we are looking at the Children's Act. Obviously, we look at the location of an ECD and the design in terms of that particular ECD, and looking at the services that exist within the particular ECD center, and also look at the nature of the ECD. We can house children with disabilities and prioritize universal access for those particular ECD centers. And our also priority guided by Children's Act, it's an issue of ensuring that ECD centers are safe in terms of providing your fencing for any ECD center, so that at least children are kept in a place that is secured. And requirements for water or basic services, which is provision of water tanks, your taps, your running water in the ECD center, and also we prioritize the issue of your electrical work. If there are any electrical work that may pose a risk to the children, then it must be attended. Looking at also your indoor play area in terms of the space that is within the ECD. Internally, accommodate a number of ECD centers as per the recommendation also of AHP. If there is any assessment that was done by AHP, we also look at your outdoor play area where we need to provide your jamming teams, your sandpit where children will be stimulated. So these must be ensured, as it is called in the Children's Act, as part of the priority areas that we as infrastructure we need to look at. And also issues of sanitation, if there is a proper sanitation in the ECD center, and also space for a nappy changing, which we need to provide your sick bay and also your nappy changing station for those particular ECD centers. We look at issues of storage. If there are any storage facilities for their veggies and the likes of other things that they need to have been kept in the facilities, like your storeroom furniture that need to be stored and other equipment. I've spoken to sick bay as part of the requirement, and obviously we look at the record keeping in that particular ECD, if all is in order, and people that are working the ECD, if they are screened, which is done by our colleagues, which is ECD program. Now moving to the criteria that we use, obviously which is informed by our national framework for ECD, and underpinned by our guidelines that are issued yearly in terms of how should we then qualify an ECD that is eligible for receiving maintenance. Some of the things that form part of the criteria is a number of children in the ECD center. I know if we look at the Children's Act, a minimum of 6 children in the ECD center that in that particular facility, that is an ECD center. But obviously for maintenance, so that we invest in a facility that we know in no time it won't be closed down, and avoid fruitless expenditure. These criteria and this first one, which then require for a minimum of at least 20 children in the ECD facility. is considered when we qualify an ECD for receipt of maintenance. An operation of aircraft that has been in existence for a year must be assisted, but obviously for the campaign of Bangasali, sorry, not Bangasali, Banapele drive, there is some intervention that is provided for those